It was just getting light as the patrol car rolled up the cobbled intersection to 1 Promenade St. Nicholas. The 6-storey building wraps around a pretty little park and children's play area in Courbevoie, a leafy corner on the northern fringes of Paris. Far from any nightlife hotspots, this is a place for families and business people. Bustling during the day, but usually peaceful at night is how one of the residents described it to me. The alert to police came from a woman worried about a friend of hers who'd lived there. A group of them had been out drinking at a nightclub, and her friend had had a big argument with her partner. He was angry and drunk, she told the call handler. Her friend had not been picking up her phone since they returned home, and she was terrified something had happened. The police took the report seriously and turned up at the apartment shortly after the call came in at 7 a.m. They knocked and waited in the corridor, but no one answered. They knocked again, and nothing. Again, and still silence. Then, according to local news reports, the officers got their battering ram out and were ready to smash the door in when a young woman opened it. She was fine, perhaps a little hungover and upset, but any police fears of domestic violence were quickly laid to rest. They found her husband in bed and woke him up. Then, as a matter of protocol, they asked to see some ID. He dug around for his documents and handed over a passport that declared him to be a Romanian citizen called Hassan Ahmet. It seemed an unlikely name for this 6'3", blonde-haired, green-eyed man, so one of the officers radioed the station to run some checks while the other made small talk in the apartment. Then, alarm bells rang. The name Hassan Ahmet was flagged as one of the fake identities used by one of Europe's most wanted criminals. This baby-faced man had been charged in Finland with computer-related crime, racketeering, and extortion. Police cuffed him and led him outside to their car as residents walked past on their way to work or the school run. Another team came to search the apartment, finding signs of a resourceful and well-connected criminal. He had 2 other Romanian photo ID cards under the same fake name, and there were also images on his wife's phone of 4 other driver's licenses, each one bearing his picture, but each one a fake, including one from Britain and one from Arizona. With the fugitive in the back of their patrol car, the police drove down the narrow streets towards the River Seine. The Eiffel Tower was visible in the overcast skyline that lay ahead on the long, straight road to the city centre. The officers probably couldn't wait to talk about the morning's unexpected success. The man sitting in cuffs behind them was a huge target. His real name was Alexandrai Julius Kivimaki. Some 2,600 kilometres away in Helsinki, the silence in the offices of Finland's cybercrime centre was broken by 4 sounds in quick succession. First came the ding of a text message, then a chuckle, then another ding, and then an almighty shout of "Joo!", which is the Finnish for "yes". The first ding was Detective Chief Inspector Marko Leppänen receiving a text from a colleague informing him of the arrest. The chuckle was him laughing it off as a bad joke and sending a sarcastic reply. The second ding was confirmation that the news was real. And that exultant "Yoo!" was the chirpy middle-aged cybercop shouting out in delight. Congratulations exploded around the station. Everyone knew how hard Marko had worked over the previous couple of years to find the hacker behind the Vestamo cyber attack. They knew too that he had been waiting for news of this arrest for months, ever since he had identified Kivimaki as the prime suspect and arranged for him to be remanded in absentia on the 27th of October 2022. That notice, released by Helsinki District Court, had been the biggest talking point of the cyber world at the time. It read, "A European arrest warrant has been issued against the suspect. He can be arrested abroad under this warrant. After that, the police will request his surrender to Finland. An Interpol notice will also be issued against the suspect, who is a Finnish citizen and about 25 years of age." The reason it sparked so much interest was simple. The Vestamo cyber attack of October 2020 was one of the most impactful and cruel hacks in history, and remains so to this day. Not only did it affect 33,000 innocent and vulnerable people, including children, it exposed them to the most grotesque form of blackmail, with their therapy notes used as a bargaining chip and then callously published online for the world to see. It also destroyed a growing Finnish company that had been doing important work in mental health.